Hello, and welcome to episode 18 of A Pile of Shame, the Backlog Logs, the GG chapters. Today, we take a look at Teslagrad. Released in 2013, developed by Rain Games and K-Train, and published by Circle Entertainment, Fly High Works, Rain Games, and Snow Cannon Games for different platforms. It was originally released in 2013 for PCs, and then in 2014 for Wii U, PS3 and PS4, and then in 2015 for PS Vita, and then in 2016 for Xbox One, and then in 2017 for Switch, and then finally in 2018 for Android and iOS. It later got a remastered version in 2023. So let's take a look at it. I'm not one of those people who will defend indie games with their lives, but I do enjoy them very much, especially when they are well done. And Teslagrad, for a first game of an indie developer, is well done. So I enjoyed it very much. I honestly don't remember what got me to buy the game, but I guess it was the scenario itself. I saw some trailers and decided it was a curious little thing, and got it back in 2018 and finally played it in 2026. I don't know why it took me so long to get going with this game, and I did start it a couple of times. But something kept me from continuing past the opening half hour. Far be it from the game being boring or bad, no. It must have been something else. In this game, you control a young boy in a sort of steampunk kingdom, where people are being hunted down for some reason, but it's not entirely clear from the beginning. When you start the game, it's a simple platformer, but it goes on to have some nice magnet-based puzzles that are really hard to master, especially considering the physics of the game. Now, let's talk control, and it controls well enough. I'll be honest, the keyboard controls are kind of a mess, but I didn't even bother with it. No rebinds. I just picked up my controller and it was smooth sailing all the way through. Mostly. There are several things that are kind of off for me personally in this control scheme. Much like Ghost 1.0 having backwards controls for some things, Teslagrad made me suffer similarly. I was often struggling with my fingers because my muscle memory would kick in during high amp moments and I would end up messing things. Even after finishing the game, I was still pressing the wrong buttons at the wrong time when I was getting frustrated or anxious. The game looks very pretty. The art style is very nice and simple, but it works like a charm. I wholeheartedly agree with the idea that style trumps realism every time, especially when we take into consideration time itself. Some older games still look good because they prioritize style over realism, while many realistic-looking games from the past look like hot garbage by today's standards. Still, this game nailed it on the head with its art style. And from what I've seen, Rain Games has a habit of keeping it as such, and I give mad respect for that. In the sound department, things are good as well. The sounds of steps, the little mechanical creatures, the magnets activating, it all sounds very good. The music is very nice, creating a very good atmosphere from beginning to end. Boss battle music keeps that tense feeling up all the time. But there is one thing I was really upset about. You see, the game has delicate sounds, nothing screeching, banging loudly, or anything of the sort. Even when you are fighting huge bosses with massive attacks, the audio is clear and well balanced, except for the last boss. Now, during the fight, everything is quite normal, but the moment the fight starts, there is this loud noise that I cannot understand what it is, and it caught me off guard. It was really jarring, and I would say that this is my main complaint. That one moment of the game is just off for me. Otherwise, this game is really fun. And that's it. It's unfortunately very short at that, and I was somewhat disappointed by how short it was. As a metroidvania with puzzles, it was really nice, but the length, not so much. Now you're climbing this tower, and at any moment you can just drop from the middle section of the tower to different levels, or gravitate up using magnets. You can revisit different areas, but the only reason that is there is to collect the scrolls that are little art cards which tell a story. You can check on them when you open the map menu and just switch screens. The scrolls, mechanically, serve three purposes. There are a total of 36 scrolls throughout the game. Some of them are right in front of you, and you just have to figure out how to get them. Others are hidden away in secret rooms, or even behind fake walls. Classic metroidvania indeed. Now, this is something that was a bit confusing to me. I finished the game the first time, and while marching towards the final cutscene, there was a little drawing on a wall asking if I had gotten all 36 scrolls. But I hadn't, so I got what's considered to be the bad ending. I opened a new save file and went again, this time with a guide just to be safe. And this is where I became severely confused. I bought the original version of the game. I bought it in 2018, and the remastered edition was released in 2023. However, in the original version, you were expected to have at least 15 scrolls to gain access to the bad ending, which was not the case for me. I don't know how many scrolls I had when I first finished the game, but I didn't need them. When you defeat the second to last boss, you plunge down the central section of the tower, and you can immediately use a teleporter just to the left of the central room. That was not there when you first start the game, so I did that. Apparently, this was not so in the original version of the game. Apparently there was a gate stopping you from getting to the teleporter. In my version of the game, the teleporter was just there, but there was another room further to the left. Now I had reached the large gate, still requiring 15 scrolls to pass through, which then led me to a strange chamber with small teleporters, which would take me to challenge rooms. Challenge rooms that should be in the remastered version. Since I was following a guide for the original version, which is the one I purchased, mind you, I was confused. So I went online to check, and apparently the GOG version has been updated to get the remastered version. I don't know if that is the case, but the GOG store page does not mention anything about the version itself. It does not have the remastered on the title, and the store lists it as releasing in 2013, so I was very confused. Either way, I managed to get the 36 scrolls, beat the game again, and went on to get the good ending. And it was really satisfying. I just think I accidentally cut it short by clicking a button after the colors turned all brown like a scroll. So I thought that must be the end of it. I don't know. But then I reloaded the same save, thinking I could try again, and got the nice surprise of a new game plus. Yep, the game started at the beginning, but now I was fully decked with all items I had found in the tower. I was really surprised by that, did not expect it at all. But another sticking point is the trial and error nature of the bosses, and it was really frustrating the first time around. The bosses are not hard, but they're not very good at telegraphing their attacks. Some bosses give you no warning and zero time to react, so you will end up dying several times before getting them. But you will get there eventually. I am looking forward to getting more games from Rain Games, mostly due to the art style and their simplistic approach to storytelling. At the end of the day, Teslagrad is a nice and simple metroidvania with tight controls, beautiful art, good music, and frustrating bosses. It's a short romp, but it's very well presented and very well made. If you're a Metroidvania veteran, this may be too little for you, but it's ideal for a first-time adventure in this style. I would recommend it to anyone who likes the story more than challenge as well. Next time, we'll take a look at an RPG made by a bunch of unforgiving people. At least that was my experience the last time I played something made by them. See you next time.